Hello out there, my name is Caleb Eggers, and today we are going to be taking another look at my game, Resource Rampage. It's been some pretty fun weeks playtesting the game with my friends and family, and in this video I'm going to be informing you of any updates I've made to the game, and also what my future outlook for this game plans to be. If you haven't seen my other two videos on the wiki and the gameplay, the links to them are in the description. Anywho, let's get started with the updates. We'll start off with some pretty big updates to the Laborer, which will be represented with this pink die since I lost my yellow demonstration die. We found that the early gameplay was a bit slow with how you can only mine 50 crystal for every 3 tile movement, so now one Laborer can now mine 100 crystal per every 3 tile movement. Another big update to the Laborer is with the Laborer's ability to construct towers for the mages and archers. It will still take 20 tile movements, but it will now cost 200 crystal to even conceive building it, kind of like spawn the materials in where the Laborers stand for them to construct. One mechanic of the archer that we found confusing in gameplay and tend to screw up a bit was the archer's charge shot ability. Light blue circle piece. See, one circle piece would increase the range by 1 tile, and then the third one would allow a bonus of a increased ranged attack. But now instead he can only have 2 charge shots built up, and each one increases the ranged attack by 1, effectively increasing the range. So with, say, the Archer Scout's aid against these few knights, one circle piece would effectively increase its range by 3, giving it a much better and more easy to understand mechanic. We also established a pretty good gameplay rule. You see, each player had 5 die of each class, so we made a gameplay rule that you could only have that many troops out on the field as long as you had the die for it. So for example, these knights represented by orange die, again I don't have enough, red die, you could only have 30 knights on the field per team. Sure, that is a lot, but that's pretty end game kind of stuff. And lastly, another gameplay rule is of the difference between attacks and skills. Now, let me just get this knight set up, and the mage is here. Originally, attacks and skills would cost 2 tile movements each, so this would be a dumb move because you'd only have 1 tile movement left and can't attack. But now, with this rule, you can still do a basic attack and effectively destroy that mage. And skills, as previously mentioned, skill costs 2, so now the knights charge, pushing the mage back, and getting rid of, how many of that would be? About 2 mages. So that's another gameplay rule that we came up with while playtesting. All these changes will be found at the wiki, but the wiki is still unviewable to the public. So this is where I now branch into the future of the game Resource Rampage. One of these two things is going to happen. Either A, I'm finally going to hear back from PB Works and figure out how to make my wiki viewable to the public, or I will just transfer all my resources altogether to a new free wiki creating website and post all the materials there. Another potential thing that I could see for Resource Rampage is a nice starter packet. It would include the map Forest Frenzy, enough circle pieces to last a game. It would include 2 gameplay guide booklets, 1 per player. And it would include 2 packs of 25 die, 5 colors to represent each class, and 5 die per color, and 1 having markings on the 1, 3, and 5 side to represent that team's die. It would all come in this nice parasol box. Parasol? I call it the beta box because it's not that good to start with it having tacks and rubber bands, and as you can see, one of the tacks broken. But I'd price it around probably $20 since 2 things of 10Z cost 30, and that's 80 die, plenty more than you need. But yeah, that about does it. That's all the updates that I came up with thanks to beta testing, and that's all I really have for the future of the game Resource Rampage if it ever does get popular. So I guess thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Mr. Nord, for sticking around with me for this crazy semester. This has been one of my first few online classes. Didn't take any my junior year, sophomore, or freshman. But that's all I really have to say. Thank you so much for watching and taking the time to watch this, and see ya.